Stop is one of the most popular English vocab games. It does a pretty good job, but I found myself tweaking it to make it even better. I'm Will from Enchanted ESL, and in this video I'll show you my take on how to play Stop, as well as some variations to adapt it to the needs of your students. Stop is best with group classes. You could do it in a one-on-one class like a beat the clock challenge, but it's not as good. Ideally you want between 3 and 6 students or 3 and 6 small groups. Individuals do it on their own, or the small groups work together to beat the other groups. So if you only have a small class, then they play individually. With a big class, you split them up into groups of 3, 4, or even 5. You don't need much to play, just a countdown timer and something for students to write on. The ideal ability level is upper beginner, intermediates. Absolute beginners will really struggle, and advanced students might find it a bit basic. And I've found kids prefer it to adults, although with the right group it doesn't really matter how old they are. Plan for about 10, maybe 15 minutes per round, and you can play as many rounds as you like. First, you need to decide on some categories. The best ones are food, animals and clothes. Any category with lots of words in it is fine, but you can choose what you want to target. We're also going to add transport and sports. About 5 categories is best, but you can have more. Next, students need to draw a category table. If they're in a group, they only need one for the whole group. They need one column for each of the categories, plus a small column at the start for a letter, just like this. Now you need to randomly choose a letter. I have this spinner, which I got from an old game called Tell Me, or you can get a random letter generator online. Or the easiest method, quickly say the alphabet in your head and get a student to randomly say stop, and then choose the letter you got up to. We got H, so put this letter in the letter column. Now set the countdown timer for 3 minutes. Start it and shout go! Students have to think of a word beginning with H for each category and write it in the column. The more difficult and less common the word, the better. Then the round ends when time runs out and you shout stop, or when one student or group fills all the columns and they shout stop instead. If they do, quickly check they've got a correct word in each category. If not, they have to stop, but the others can continue. As soon as anyone shouts stop, everybody stops writing immediately. Then you check the answers. Go around the class and ask students or groups what words they had, going category by category. In the food column, this student put ham. They get 1 point for that word, but if any other student or group put the same word, both only get half a point. Only unique words that nobody else has get the full point. Let's say that happens, somebody else put ham, so it's half a point. However, their animal, hippo, is unique. Nobody else put that. They probably put horse or hamster. So, hippo gets 1 full point. This is why putting less common words is better. And if you don't like using halves, you could give 2 points for a unique word and 1 for those words that other people put. It doesn't really matter what numbers you use, as long as unique is double the points of repeated. Our example student didn't get a word in the clothes category, so they get 0 points there. Do this for all the categories and get a total points score. This student got 3. And that's 1 round of the game. You can end it there and declare the winner as the one with the most points, or play another round with the same categories, but a new letter. This is the standard way of playing Stop, but I prefer a variation that's closer to Scattergories. I like it because it gets students thinking of a lot more words. In Stop, students put 1 word per category. In this variation, they can put as many words as they can. In fact, the more the better. And the same points apply, 1 point for every unique word and half a point for every repeated word. They may not find a word for the clothes category, but they can pick up points for lots of food or animals. You may want to increase the time limit to 5 minutes for this. And students can say stop at any time when they have at least 1 word in a category, but they might not want to if they can get more points with more words. If you're finding this useful, hit the like button. It helps the channel grow and videos like this reach more amazing teachers like you. And here's a few ways of adapting the game to your specific students. First, avoid some of the letters. Q and X are pretty much impossible, so avoid them with everybody. And with lower level students, letters like J and Z and W are a real challenge, so maybe remove them from the equation. But those letters can be a great challenge for more confident learners. Second, you can play the game at the same time as your students. Think of words that are new for them or interesting or unusual and introduce them during the game. That means you can specifically develop their vocabulary above and beyond what it already is. Don't compete though and give yourself points because you'll probably win every time. And finally, if you want to increase the challenge, make the categories narrower. Instead of food, you could have dairy products. Instead of animals, you could have reptiles. Just beware that when categories get too narrow, you might find yourself with no words for a particular letter. I'm always thinking of new ways to make vocabulary learning more fun. Another great game like Stop is called Name 3, and you can find out how to play in this video. Go and watch it now. But for now, I've been Will from Enchanted ESL, wishing you all the joy and success in your teaching. See ya!